So we invite Peter up for the prayer.
So let's prepare ourselves for a day of celebration and growth, transformation, and evolving as we remember and recognize that we are all one, that we are connected energetically, that we all have a subconscious mind that is connected to the divine. So therefore, we are all connected to the divine through the same channel and the same energy. And the operating energy of the universe is love. So all that is true, all that is real, all that matters is from love. And we acknowledge that and call it in and call it forth today as we gather in this sacred space. And so it is.
And in that transformational power, what I'd like to do is, we'd like to do is there anyone that would like to light the candle of love this morning? Nancy. This, I checked it, it does work. So let's just hold our hands up as, yes, there it goes. Now, there, now press, oh, again, oh. There it is, okay. So we light this candle of love. And in this energy, if there's anyone you'd like to say a prayer for, just say their names out loud. My brother John, Meyer, and Rayne. So in this sacred space, in this time, in this now moment, we know that love is all there is, that there's only one of us. We share that sacred energy and we surround and hold and feel as holy everyone in this whole world in this beautiful energy of love and light. And so we invite that presence as we stand, as we are able, and we sing, Surely the Presence. Celebration that is unity on the river, and we sing Celebrate. There is a light inside of us all, and I don't know if you know there's a light that is so bright. Just thought I'd tell you. There's know if you know there's a strength inside of the soul. And I know that there's a power inside of the soul. And I don't know if you know there's a power inside of the soul. And it's time to celebrate. Celebrate. Come on now. Celebrate. It's time to celebrate. 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 It's time to celebrate. There's a light inside of us all. And I don't know if you know there's a light inside of us all. And it's time to celebrate. 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 Everybody now. Celebrate. It's time to celebrate. Come on. Celebrate. 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 It's time to celebrate. One more time. Celebrate. 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 And it's time to Oh boy, and now we welcome Keith right up to sing us a song that we all know. And I didn't put all the words on the PowerPoint, but I think you know it, or you at least can hum along with it.
So, you know me, I like audience participation songs, so even though we might not have all the lyrics on the PowerPoint, there is, at the end of the song, there's just la-di-da-di-da to end the song. So I think everybody can remember those lyrics. But please sing along if you can.
Did anybody go to Grateful Dead concerts?
Yes.
Yeah! There's a few of you. And at least we heard it on the radio a million times. Ripple on, still water.
By Robin Hunter, who was pretty much Jerry Garcia's lyric writer. Jerry wrote a lot of the music, but Robin Hunter wrote all the lyrics for those tunes. My words did glow with the gold of sunshine, and my tunes, they were played on a harp unstrung. Would you hear my voice through the music? Would you hold it near as it were your own? It's a hand-me-down.
Hand-me-down.
The thoughts, they are broken. Well, perhaps they're better left unsung, but I don't know. Don't really care. Let there be songs to fill the air. Ripple in still water. When there is no pebble tossed, no winds to blow, reach out your hand. If your cup is empty, if your cup is full, may it be again, let it be known. That it is a fountain that was not made by the hands of men, and there is a road. No sin temple highway. It's between the dawn and the dark of night. And if you go, no one may follow. That path is for your steps alone. Ripple in still water when there is no pebble tossed, no winds to blow. You choose to lead, you must follow. But if now you fall, you're gonna fall alone. If you should stand, then who's to guide you? Well, if I knew the way, well, I would surely take you home. La da 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 la 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 da 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 da.
Pretend you're at a Dead concert. Keith Bickford, thank you, Cherie, for bringing us that beautiful memory.
Thank you.
Good morning and welcome to Unity. Isn't it nice down here?
Yes.
Good to get some relief from the heat. So I'm Michelle Gallant. I'm facilitating today. And let's welcome the streamers that are online and watching in the comfort of their homes.
Thank you, Brian.
Thank you all for sharing with our service. And also, is anyone here visiting with us for the first time? I see some returning folks.
Yes.
And that's really nice, some faces we haven't seen in a while. That's great, so welcome. And Unity on the River is a center of celebration, inspiration, transformation, spirit-centeredness, oneness, and joy. These are our core values, so let's keep those in our heart as we say our mission statement. We are a vibrant spiritual community that celebrates the presence in all and awakens humanity to its divinity. And our vision, centered in love, we joyously co-create a world of oneness, peace, and harmony. And now we can greet each other with a namaste, or a handshake, or a hug if people are open to that. Please ask. And I behold the Christ in all of you and the presence of love and joy.
move and everything.
Woo! John Hyde. Oh. Let's give a nice hand as we tear ourselves away from each other, because I know hopefully we're going to see more of each other this afternoon. Let's give a hand to these wonderful musicians who give their heart and soul. John Hyde on piano, Bickford, Chagarris, and of course we have the amazing Cherie Gaudet. Yay, Cherie! And Meg, well. Oh, her. So I want to introduce someone who is beloved in our community and has been for many, many years, has been a member of our congregation and our Love Fest since the early 2000s. And Peter Scott Stringham, who now more formally goes by the name Scott. So we want to hold that in our hearts as we bless that name for him as he goes forward. And Scott is a teacher. He is an amazing energy healer. I have had the joy many times. I've worked with him, and he's worked on me over the phone. He energetically does this body code reprocessing and rewiring thing that he does that's so amazing. And I can tell you it's really incredible, the gift that he brings. So many, hundreds into the thousands now, people have been blessed by this modality that he brings that's been channeled down. He was a member of our board, so I'm going to say some of the things that he's done for Unity on the River from the year, he was on the board from 2004 to 2015. On and off. Let's give him, woo! Wow. He was the director of operations when Ogun was here from 2015 to 2019, which stand to go real low. His website this is a beautiful, you can hear the gift that he brings. balanceharmonyandjoy.com is his website. And he's here, he's going to speak to us, but before he does, he's going to bring us this beautiful, beautiful song that was written, the music is by Leonard Bernstein from something called Bernstein's Mass, and the words are by Silver Swartz? Stephen, I should know that name. So, and he wrote Godspell, so I'm going... And Wicked. Oh, okay. So without any more further ado, he doesn't need a big introduction, but I thought I'd give him one. Peter Scott Stringham.
Sing God a simple song, loud a loud day. Make it up as you go along, loud a loud day. Sing like you like to sing. God loves all simple things. praise him, to bless him, to bless the Lord. I will sing his praises while I live all of my days. Blessed is the man who loves the Lord. Blessed is the man who praises him. Louder, louder, laugh of day, and walks in his ways. I will lift up my eyes to the hills from whence comes my help. I will lift up my voice to the Lord, singing louder, louder. For the Lord is my shade, is the shade from my right hand, and the sun shall not smite me by day, nor the moon by night. Blessed is the man who loves the Lord. Louder, 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 and walks in his ways. Louder, louder, louder. Louder, louder, dee da dee day. All of my days. So that's one more item off my bucket list. I first heard that song when I was in high school 50 years ago, and I've wanted to sing it ever since. So thank you. Thank you. It's such a beautiful piece. And I'll be talking more about the words of that psalm, Psalm 121, later on. And you should have a little purple lavender piece with that psalm, with the complete psalm on it. And we're going to read that together at the end of the talk. So what does that song have to do with the talk? Well, here we go. So imagine that someone who really cares about you gives you a gift certificate for a day that is devoted entirely to your soul, for the needs of your soul. And on that day, you don't have to work. Everything is taken care of for you. You can spend time in nature, go for a walk, meditate, read a good book. Anything you want, as long as it feeds your soul. You can go singing, you can dance, you can go drumming. For one day, you get to look at your life as a blessing. And imagine what the world would be like if everything was perfect. And you get to live your life as if that is the state of the world. So all we have to do when the world is perfect is just feed our souls. And of course, being with each other is part of that as well. Well, sounds almost too good to be true, doesn't it? a day just to feed your soul? Well, we actually all have that gift certificate, this blessing, and it's for us to redeem anytime we want to. It comes in the form of the fourth commandment from the book of Exodus. Honor the Sabbath and keep it holy. And that's what we're going to talk about today. I'm going to make suggestions for you to create or enhance your own Sabbath practice and see what the advantages of it are in reducing stress in your life, renewing your energy, your vitality, and deepen your connections to your family, your friends, and to yourself. It's a wonderful gift. And a lot of this ideas I'm going to do are from this book called The 10 Challenges by Leonard Felder. And he's got a chapter on each one of the 10 commandments and how to apply them to our lives here in the 21st century. And it's a wonderful book that I recommend for you. It is available online. So what does the Sabbath really mean? Well, you know, in the Jewish tradition, it's called Shabbat, and they celebrate it starting on Friday night up through Saturday, right, Nat? Am I correct on that? Sundown to sundown, about 25 hours, more or less. And but different traditions do it at different times. The early Christians, actually, it was Saturday because that was considered the seventh day, the day of rest, as the Jewish people do, but it kind of shifted over to Sunday, although Seventh-day Adventists still treat Saturday as the Sabbath. It moved to Sunday because in the first 3 centuries of the Christian church, Sunday was the first day. That was the day God created heaven and earth. So they celebrated that, and also that was the day of the week that Jesus was resurrected. So they celebrated that every Sunday, the early Christians, and then over the centuries it evolved into that being the Sabbath for most Christians. And of course, in the Islamic tradition, it's Friday. And so it's called Day of Assembly for them. So it started as a way for Muslims who couldn't get to all their prayers of the week, they could be redeemed or by catching up on Friday. So Friday was their Sabbath day or their day of assembly to get together at noontime and have their day of prayer, and then they have their own traditions and everything that come from that. But the interesting thing is that in Kabbalistic tradition, the Hebrew characters for the word Sabbath are the same characters that are on the word teshuvah, which is, did I pronounce that right, Nat? Okay, good. Which means to turn oneself inward into a more holy direction. It also means it's a time to look back and review the things over the past week or over time so we can get a big picture of what's happening. And I love this quote, which is by Rabbi Mordecai Kaplan. And he says, an artist cannot be continually wielding his or her brush. The painter must stop at times from the painting to freshen his or her vision of the subject, the meaning of which the artist wishes to express on canvas. The Shabbat represents those moments when we pause our brushwork to renew our vision of the general plan. Having done so, we take ourselves to our painting with clarified vision and renewed energy. So as I said, so the Sabbath is a time when we can envision the world, what life would be like when the brokenness of the world is repaired. Rabbi Irving Greenberg said, by an act of will on Shabbat, we step outside the here and now, and for approximately 25 hours, all things are seen through the eyes of love, as if it were perfect. Every 7 days, we reaffirm our connection to God, to be married to the divine love. Is this an escape from reality? No, it's an act of faith to be committed to live a life that is growing and seeking perfection, to be nurtured by Chesed, which means loving kindness, and the taste of Shabbat as to go out and transform the world. Hallelujah. Yeah, so that's another point of it. By working on ourselves and renewing our energy, we help transform the world. So it's a wonderful way not to do it just for yourself, but for everyone. So today, let's make a new commitment to do that. I'm asking you all to make a new commitment to Sabbath. And you can pick whatever day of the week you want. It doesn't have to be Friday or Saturday or Sunday. If it's another day that you want to use for your spiritual renewal, you can do that. And you can pick your own times. You can do, the Jewish dinner on Friday to dinner on Saturday. You can do sunrise to sunset. You can do 9 to 5, whatever you want, just as long as you're doing something. And then over time, it will evolve.
Can you do every day?
I'm going to get back to you on that, okay? Because the first thing, so there's steps to it. There's things you should stop doing on your practice. There are things you maybe want to add to what you're doing or do more of as part of your Sabbath practice. And then there are ways to increase your joy, and then ways to bring it to the rest of the week, the other 6 days of the week. So those are the 4 steps. So first I'm going to give you some suggestions on things you can stop doing during the Sabbath. And all I'm asking you is pick one today. Pick one item that maybe might be a little bit uncomfortable for you, but you know you need to do. Something that you can just give it up for one day a week and will make a difference to transform the world. So, of course, number 1 on the list is working, doing your job, which also includes preparing for work or making calls or planning it out or anything. You just can't do any work. It's really hard for me because I work at home. I've got a beautiful desk with a view of the bay out the window, and I love what I do, and there's always something to do, and a client who calls and wants a special session, which thrills me when they do that. No, I don't do anything of that on the Sabbath. I don't even take the calls or the emails. I don't answer anything now on Sunday. And it was fine. That was an easy one. Shopping. There's one you can take on. And it's interesting, when you walk up the steps here in the temple, there's a little sign of things not to do on the Shabbat. And one of them is handling money, it says on that sign when you walk down the stairs. So it might be something you'll do is just leave finances, especially if finances are stressful for you. Just give it up for one day of the week. Nothing's going to happen, I promise you, okay? Or your money back, okay? All right? Being away from your family, doing things, going away, you want to be with your family or your loved ones or your friends or something. It's not a time to pull yourself away and make an appointment to go somewhere or do something. You want to be with them. So the New Interpreter's Bible, which is also a source I used for this talk. This is a wonderful Bible, and Paul Hesselbeck, when he was here years ago, I asked him, what's the best Bible I should get, Paul? And he said, this is the one. So I just went and ordered it from the bookstore. Remember when we had a bookstore? Okay. And it's great because it has the biblical stuff, but then it has all kinds of background and commentary and on it. So you can just pick one little paragraph out of it in the Bible and then spend an hour just researching and looking at the commentaries and everything. And here's what the New Interpreter Bible says about the Sabbath. Contemporary practice of Sabbath concerns the periodic disciplined, regular disengagement of systems of productivity, whereby the world uses people up to exhaustion. Instead, it's a day of special dignity. So with that in mind, here are a few other don'ts that don't do. don't travel. Now, if you're already somewhere, that's fine, but don't do the airports and TSA and baggage and cabs and Uber and all that. Just, make it a point that you're not going through all that hustle and bustle on your day where you're feeding your soul. And here's a good guideline for it. On your Sabbath day, don't do anything where somebody says, "Have a nice day." All right? Okay? All right? Okay. No, and here's another one. No commercial entertainment might be something you'll take on, like television, videos, streaming, websites, and email, and especially social media. Can you take yourself off social media for one day a week? A lot of people can't. In fact, in the front page of my local paper today, there's an article about a 17-year-old girl who's an honor student, and she's doing amazing things in her community and everything. But the article's about the fact that she sleeps with her cell phone next to her pillow on her mattress, so she doesn't miss any texts when she gets up. Before she even gets out of bed, she checks her texts, and she runs through her TikTok before she gets out of bed. So I say that's the way things are going with our young people. But for you here, for your Sabbath, I recommend that would be something you would take away. So I know what you're thinking. What about football? Football for me goes back to when I was 6 years old, sitting with my dad on the couch, watching the New York Giants, black and white TV, 1963, Wyatt Tittle, Frank Gifford. I mean, it's embedded in me. There's something in me that's like, it's in my DNA. I gotta watch football on Sunday afternoon. That's the American tradition. I mean, the last time the Patriots were in the Super Bowl, I've got in my photo library in my computer, I still got a whole bank full of pictures of everybody who was wearing their Patriot gear that day, It was wonderful, and it was celebratory, and it created community, and it was fun. So, but the Super Bowl's after sundown on Sunday, so that's okay. You can watch the game. But what about those Sunday 1 o'clock games? When I watch those games, it takes me away from my family. They don't care. Even my boys, they were never into it very much. It's my thing, watching the Patriots. And I usually, especially when they lose, I don't feel so good after. It doesn't really feed my soul anymore. I just do it because it's a habit. So I'm declaring for you guys right now, for this year, I'm not watching any Sunday afternoon football. 1 o'clock game, 4 o'clock game. I'm not going to watch it this year. I can watch replays later. I can watch Monday night football, Thursday night football, Sunday night football, blah, 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 blah. I can watch all that. But for Sunday afternoon, I'm going to do something with my family. And I did an experiment last week. Usually I'm doing stuff. I'm at my desk on Sunday or whatever. And I went to Carol and said, "Hey, how about we go for a kayak?" She said, "That's wonderful. It's been 10 years since we've gone kayaking together." We went out on the island in our tandem. We explored this little back channel. It's only a quarter of a mile from our house, and we had never been on it before, through the reeds. And there were Canada geese, a little family of Canada geese with their teenage little geeslings. And we were waving at neighbors in their backyard. We don't even know who they are. We've never seen those houses before. And we talked, and we enjoyed nature and the beautiful Sunday afternoon, instead of doing whatever I would have been doing, and I wouldn't even have been able to tell you what it is now. I wouldn't even remember anymore what that was, that I would have been doing had I not gone kayaking with Carol. Now, so I made the commitment, that's it, all right? So now that'll help you by stating it here to hold me to it. So when you decide what you're not going to do as part of your new Sabbath practice, share it with somebody so they can support you in that, okay? Now, What about things you can do during the Sabbath that maybe you're not doing? A wonderful one is lighting a candle. You can symbolically light a candle, an actual wax candle or just one of those ones you turn it on, to symbolize in your home, this is going to be my Sabbath time. And that might be enough to start it off. When that candle's lit in the house, that means this is Sabbath time. When the candle's off, football, okay? All right? Take a walk, or a hike, or a kayak. Those are things you can do during the Sabbath. Take a nap. Napping is considered a Sabbath activity. Oh, that works for me, okay? It's refreshing, nourishing. You know, a nice little Sunday afternoon nap, that would be good. Okay, here's another one. Make love. Making love is considered a mitzvah in Jewish tradition, which means it's a blessing or a commandment. And it's something that you can do. And it can be just sitting with somebody and sharing intimately, deeply, having a real conversation. Meeting with somebody you haven't met with in a long time and you've been putting it off. Get together on the Sabbath and share a cup of coffee and spend time with them. That's another way to make love. Having a special meal. When my wife and I got married in 1988, we started having Sunday night dinner and inviting my parents who live nearby. And it became a tradition, and they really looked forward to it. They would call up, "What are we having for dinner tomorrow night?" You know, and they loved it. And they're both gone, but we still have Sunday night dinner every Sunday night. And my boys, who are now 25 and 29 years old, cherish that Sunday. They work their schedules around Sunday night. In fact, my 29-year-old Corey cooks the meal, and he spends his Sunday afternoon. He's got it all planned out. We had to have a meeting on Friday night so he could make sure when he went shopping on Saturday, he'd get everything for the Sunday night dinner. And we have people over. That's something we've added in recent years. We try to have somebody over every Sunday night. And we have these two friends of Corey's who have now kind of adopted us on Sunday night. They don't even call anymore. They just show up with a bottle of wine. And it's wonderful. In fact, we're almost disappointed when they don't come now. And we say a blessing around the table. And it's sacred time. It really is. Whether, setting the table. My job's setting the table, and I try to do an extra job, really setting a beautiful table. And we prepare the food, and even the cleanup and doing the dishes. We do it all together. It's a connecting thing. And I'm looking forward to tonight. Yeah. So, and another one that I mentioned before: singing or dancing, drumming, like you guys do, and getting together. There are so many things we did at Unity that I'd love to see back again. Of course, and Michelle and David doing their get together this afternoon. That's perfect. That's just a perfect thing to do. How wonderful. How wonderful you guys are doing that. And I'll announce Peter Craig, because Peter used to have these little talks where he'd get together with people after services just so they could have conversation on Sunday afternoon. And, I was always playing my director of operations game, pretending that I always had a lot of work to do. And now I feel sorry that I didn't come in and join in on that during that time. So great job, Peter, for doing that and supporting that to happen when it did. And maybe that's something else we can do again as this church continues to evolve and grow and rise like a phoenix as it's going to. And then, of course, spiritual practice is another thing you can put in. Like, I'll just sit down with my New Interpreter's Bible and just 15 minutes, or maybe daily word. That's a great practice. Unity magazine, which is the only magazine I subscribe to now, and it's wonderful. It's gotten better and better. It's got amazing articles in it. You can pick it up in the book. Well, you can't pick it up in the bookstore. Okay. But we should have some. We should have some, just a little table or something like that. Yeah, yeah. And I'm reading. I'm reading a book on energy healing. I'm reading a book on. I'm reading Tony Robbins' new book on healing and medicine. And I'm even reading a novel now. And if I don't get time during the week, it's kind of, I got to carve out some time on Sunday to do that. Okay? So enough of that. So you use the blessings of the Sabbath to open up your heart. And here is I think I'm just about out of time. The numbers on the clock are Hebrew there, so I can't tell what time it actually is. But
48.
But here's something you can do, a practice you can do. So we're going to use it using the 121st Psalm that I sang the song with. So you all have that in your purple sheets, or lavender sheets. I'm sorry, if you're at home watching this, you can just pause it and you can pull out a Bible or something and pull it out. And raise your hand if you need one. So this is a psalm that's written, and a lot of people get the wrong idea about psalms, that they're supplicating God, or they're asking for God's favor, or they're asking for God not to punish them for their sins or whatever. And that's not what the psalms are about. The Psalms are about opening our hearts and expressing our gratitude and our love for God. And we're all created to that, we're all connected to that God, all one with that God. So we're really praying for ourselves and all humanity when we express the gratitude. So this psalm has great power into it because it's been read out loud or for thousands of years. So there's a lot of great vibration in these psalms. In fact, David Hawkins Institute calibrated everything in the Bible, from 1 to 1,000 to calibrate the vibrational frequency of, and he did all the books of the Bible. And the Psalms are, the only thing higher than the Psalms are the first 4 books of the Old Testament. So the Psalms are very high vibrational text. And so what he's talking about here is he's thanking God for making heaven and earth, for creation, but it's really about protection. Because when you put your faith in God, then you'll always be protected. Then you don't have to worry about anything. And he symbolizes that by saying, God is the shade upon my right hand. Because in the Middle East, thousands of years ago, sunstroke was a big problem. Heat exhaustion and everything. So when God is the shade of your right hand, it's putting shade on you and protecting you from the sun. And at that time also, the moon was considered to have negative influences. So God also protects me from the harmful influences of the moon. So that's listed there too. And so that's why the sun shall not strike me by day nor the moon by night. And he will keep your life. And at the end, I've always wondered where the phrase coming from. You're going out and you're coming in from this time and forevermore. So that's how it ends. So what we're going to do is we're going to read it out loud together, but you're not going to read it like, here I am in Newburyport, Massachusetts, reading this. You're going to read it as if you are the person who wrote this thousands of years ago in the Middle East, living in the hot desert, and knowing and expressing and feeling your thankfulness to God for protecting you from the weather, from the elements, and helping you to keep your eyes up on the hill representing our spiritual source. We're in Jerusalem in that case, but for us, the spiritual source. So we're going to end the talk by us reading this together, and then see how it feels when you're putting yourself in that person's sandals, imagining what it's like for him. And then you take that energy and the energy from your Sabbath practice and carry it out throughout the week. And once you do this for 1 week, 10 weeks, 1 year, 10 years, you're going to find people are treating you differently. You're making a difference in the world. It's one of the most wonderful things you can do to have a Sabbath practice. So I invite you. So take out your sheets and let's read this all in unison. Here we go. Begin. I lift my eyes to the hills. From where will my help come? My help comes for the Lord, who made heaven and earth. He will not let your foot be moved. He who keeps you will not slumber. He who keeps Israel will neither slumber or sleep. The Lord is your keeper. The Lord is your shade at your right hand. The sun shall not strike you by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord will keep you from all evil. He will keep your life. The Lord will keep your going out and your coming to from this time on and forevermore. And so it is. Amen. All right.
So now is the time in our service when we go into meditation and we take these thoughts in. For God is all there is. As I transform my mind, I transform my life. I lift my inner eyes into the God that is me, that I am. God is all there is. God is all there will ever be. Our hearts now. God is all there is. God is all there will ever be. God is my source. God is my strength. God is the power that lifts me up when I miss the mark. God is the beauty of this life that I am so grateful to have received. So we just breathe in that power and that strength. We lift our inner eyes to the consciousness of that which is our highest vibrational consciousness. The power that made heaven and earth. The thought vibration that made us. That made me. We know that that inner light, that inner consciousness heals all things. Loves all and transforms all negativity into light. So as we move into a time of meditation and quietness, we take this Sabbath moment, this holy moment, we go into the silence, communing with the part of us, the part of myself that blesses and opens to the love that I am, that is connected to the all. In the silence, in the silence, in the joy and the blessing of the silence. We pray. And taking a breath, a holy breath, ruha, a breath of gratitude for all that is. We say quietly again, thank you to all who have blessed us. If there's anyone special in your life who you feel very close to at this moment, just say their names. And we take that in as we sing again. God is all there is. And the joy and understanding of what it truly means. God is all there is. God is all there is. God is all there will ever be. God is all there is. God is all there will ever be. Let's sing that out. God is all there is. God is all there will ever be. God is all there is. God is all there will ever be. God is all there is. God is all there will ever be. God is all there is. God is all there will ever be. Come on, let's sing that. God is all there is. God is all there will ever be. God is all there is. God is all there will ever be. Ain't it the truth? It is the truth. We affirm that. Okay. So, are there announcements now, or are we? Oh, tithes and offerings. Oh, great. This is the time when we bless our tithes and offerings. If you brought them with you, or if they're If you're giving online, just hold the energy or that check or that piece of paper, that beautiful monetary piece of paper, as we know that these offerings are going to bless the world. So let's say the blessing together. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Oh, I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. 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 I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. Woo. Oh, divine love that offered up these blessings. We send them out into the world to do God's will, to do what is the highest and best vibration for this money, these offerings. We bless them, and we know that all is well, and so it is. So we have some announcements. We have a lot of announcements, actually.
Hi, everybody. A couple of things. You mentioned the bookstore missing. Where's Peter? Where'd he go?
I'm here.
Scott. Oh, way back. I can't see you behind the pole. He mentioned missing the bookstore. Well, Jane Bell has, who's on our board, received several of these free pamphlets from Unity Village. They're out there on the table. You are welcome to help yourself to them. These are full of beautiful imagery, beautiful thoughts. We have something on healing, grief, 2 on healing. We have something on being worthy for the LGBTQ community, and several others. So please check them out and help yourself. So thank you, Jane, for getting those and bringing those to church for us. We should be hiring our communications director soon. Yay! So that will be really helpful. And if you, now today there is a gathering at David Watts and Michelle Mayhew's home in New Hampshire. It's still happening. They do have some tents set up, and there is some air conditioning in the house, so we know it's going to be boiling hot out there, but we'll try to send out cool energy and get together and enjoy some food.
Do you have a sprinkler?
I do have a sprinkler. No one under the age of 100 is allowed in the sprinkler.
Okay.
I'm going over the age of 100.
All right.
And, it's still an outdoor party, but we want people to feel safe, so we do have it. If you need a refuge, take refuge in our house. That's totally fine in the different.
Okay, great. Thank you, David.
And I have directions if you don't know how to use it.
Great. Okay. If you did RSVP, you should have gotten those directions if you're watching from home. So if you receive text messages or you want to receive text messages from Unity, that should be up there. That's how you set that up, with texting to that message. And Sharon Mahoney has a word she'd like to say about volunteering and the importance and the power that's had in her life. Think about how this all got set up, right? It was volunteers. So, among many other things that are keeping us going through this time. So, Sharon?
Thank you, everyone. I stand in the presence.
Namaste.
Well, Scott, I didn't know this was going to be your talk today, and at the board meeting, we were talking about volunteerism, and what a need Unity on the River has. So guess what, guys? You have now your new Sabbath practice for Sunday on Unity on the River. You're all going to volunteer, right? To that point, when I walked into Unity on the River 10 years ago, I thought, what the hell did I just walk into? Guys raising their hands and they're dancing around. And it's like, oh my God, this is so not me. But the moment I walked into Unity, Amy Jocelyn said, do you have a name tag? No, I don't really want a name tag. I'm not sure I want people to know who I am. She goes, well, when you come back next week, there'll be one ready for you. And I thought, oh, great, I gotta come back. So my friend Jane and I, we came back. And we kept coming back. And we kept coming back. And I was the most introverted person you'd ever want to meet in your life. Don't ask me to speak. Don't ask me to do anything. Don't ask me anything. I'm just here. Until one Sunday, Bill Free said, we need a greeter. Anybody here want to be a greeter? Nobody's hand went up, and I was like, I could feel it. I could feel it. It was like, okay, yep, I'll do it. It wasn't an awful thing. It was the best thing in the world. Honest to God, guys, I would not lie to you. I've never told a lie in my life. It was the best thing that ever happened to me. I only had to do it the third Sunday of every month. And I was committed to that third Sunday of every month to welcome somebody. There is nothing better than to welcome somebody into your home. And this is your spiritual home. So from becoming a greeter, Tina said to me, she goes, you should be on the board. And it's like, I'm not a member. She said, well, you need to become a member. So, once again, raised my hand and I became a member. From that time of signing on to be a greeter, I became a member. I became a prayer chaplain. I am still a prayer chaplain. And I have been on the board for 7 years. I am on the board as your vice president. It breaks my heart, and thank you guys for voting me in for an extra year, but it breaks my heart that I have to step down because you don't know what it's like to serve and want to be part of something. And through this all at the board meeting the other night, it was more than just serving the unity on the people. It was serving me. I found me. I almost ended a relationship with my now husband because I thought he was broken. It was through service that I found out I was broken. We have been together for 25 years, and we just celebrated our 7th anniversary on Monday. And I can't tell you that I don't know that I would have been here with him if it wasn't for that day that I raised my hand and said, yes, I will volunteer as a greeter. So yes, we need greeters, and yes, we need to have people on the folding team, and yes, we need people to help organize. And Stan has been a one-man band for way too long. I didn't know until the board meeting that Stan is doing all the folding that the folding team used to do. I mean, seriously, people, how hard is it to come in here a half an hour early on a Sunday and fold pamphlets to hand out? You will not understand until you do it the amount of growth that you are going to have inside. So to Scott's point, every one of you in here can now have a brand new Sabbath commitment, and it only has to be, even if it's only for the time that you're at Unity, that's all it needs. But please, we need you. We need you more than you need Unity. So please, to that end, do something. Just do something to make a difference for yourself and for Unity. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sharon. I can also testify to the power of volunteering. Here at previous churches, it will help you grow. It will help you connect with people here to really have a sense of community. and it's powerful. And as Sharon said, you start out small, but we are still happening here, and we want to make sure people know that and join in whatever way you can. The Unity Eastern Region Conference is October 3rd through 6th. Is that online or is? Yes. Oh, and that will be online, so you can participate in the workshops. It's always really great. So check that out on we have a link probably on our website to that, and also Eastern Region Conference. Let's see, and we have some upcoming speakers. Cindy Swall is August 7th, is that right? 14th, August 14th for Cindy Swall. And then Paul Hasselbeck from Unity Village will be here on September 25th. Yeah, okay, great, got that. Another,
Martine.
and Martine is next week.
Martine
Martine Bernard. A lot of people love her. So another announcement from Bob Callahan, right, is he is helping to put on 2 benefit concerts that will help Ukrainian refugees. And they are both happening in New Hampshire. The first one is August 6th at 7:30. These flyers are out at the front if you didn't pick one up. And that will be a tribute to the great and wonderful and fabulous Queen. Yay. Everybody loves that music. And the next one will be on September 17th. They're at 2 different locations, so you want to check that out. And that will be a tribute to Foreigner and Journey. So we had that group at our gala a few years ago. So thank you, Bob, for organizing that. We know there's so much need, and this is a way you can contribute and have some fun. Just real quick. Okay.
I saw a program on TV about the Ukraine, and the commentator said, "What would you do if this happened in your neighborhood?" That's what I'm doing. Because it was so moving. The bands, the venues, everybody is giving back. They're not taking their normal contributions that they would get if they put on a program. This is special. And the lady that is opening the show has written a song for the refugees that is to be heard. She is fantastic. I've signed her. I'm her agent. She is amazing. You'll see if you come. Jordan Quinn, she's now been shown to Live Nation. Live Nation is going to be doing concerts with her. This is all divine intervention. I am convinced of it. And thank you.
Thank you, Bob.
Thank you, Bob, for stepping up in that way. We've all been affected by what's happening, and people need so much support and help. So any way you can help would be great. And I believe that's all the announcements, right?
I just want to say, if you can speak, you can sing. Come on up with us and have your part of your sacred Sabbath be to come in and be part of our beautiful choir. We'd love to have you. Yeah. You're here. Ryan Dozer is going to sing us into Everything is Holy now, right?
I just want to thank Keith, because as I was making sure I packed everything to move the service down here today.
Woo! Thank you, Rayne!
No, well, as I was packing my car to make sure I had all the extra things, so the streaming and the speaker, and I brought 2 speakers, but we don't need 2 in this room. But I forgot to pack my guitar. So Keith's let me use his for this. It's only happened once before, and I had a ukulele as a backup. When I was a boy each week, Sundays we would go to church and pay attention to the priest, and he would read the holy word. Made me want to bow my head. I remember when church let out, how things have changed since then. Everything is holy now. Everything is holy now. we would learn about the time Moses split the sea in two, Jesus made the water wine. And I remember feeling sad that miracles don't happen still. And now I can keep track, 'cause everything's a miracle. Everything, everything, everything's a miracle. Wine from water is not so small, but an even better magic trick, if anything is here at all. So the challenging thing becomes not to look for miracles, find out where there isn't one. Holy water was rare at best, barely wet my fingertips. And now I have to hold my breath like I'm swimming in a sea of it. Used to be a world half there, having second grade hand-me-down. Now I walk with a reverent air, 'cause everything is holy now. Questioning child's faith, say it's not a sacrament, that'd be very hard to say. See another new morning come, say it's not a testament, tell you that it can't be done. This morning outside I stood and saw a little red-winged bird, shining like the burning bush, singing like a scripture verse. Made me want to bow my head. I remember when church let out. How things have changed since then. Everything is holy now. It used to be a world half there, having second rate hand me down. Now I walk with a reverent air, 'cause everything is holy now. Everything, everything, everything is holy now. Everything, everything, everything is holy now. All together. Everything, everything, everything is holy now. Let's do it again. Everything, everything, everything is holy now.
Oh, in that energy, let's rise as we are able to sing our peace song. Send this energy out into the world.
Remember, the Lord will keep you from all evil. He will keep your life. The Lord will keep your going out and your coming to from this time on and forevermore.
The light of God surrounds us.
We are the light of God.
The love of God enfolds us.
We are the love of God.
The power of God protects us.
We are the power of God.
And the presence of God watches over us.
We are the presence of God.
Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And we are richly blessed. Woo!
Forgot to mention that if you would like to volunteer, please speak with Stan. And the first thing you can start to do to volunteer and help is to help reset this room.
Yes!
Yay!
Tables, there are tables, all the chairs go around the tables, and the tables are pulled into the middle.
Okay.